So we're circling back to the Archway of Innovation deck today for one main reason is that I'm interested in testing Stock Up, which is a new uncommon from Aether Drift. Stock Up is a card that I thought about talking in my set review. I didn't think it was going to be a quite good enough card selection spell for in the context of Modern, but it's seeing a good amount of Legacy and Vintage play, as it turns out, and a little tiny bit of Fringe Modern play too. So I want to get working on it. So Stock Up is kind of simple. 3 mana, look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, the rest of the bottom in any order. Thank you, General Iroh, for the Twitch Prime. I can't think of any Avatar jokes. Okay, so this is, kind of a little fixed dig through time. It's 3 mana instead of a max 2 or minimum 2 for dig through time after Delve. It's these 5 cards instead of 7, but it's also one that you can actually cast on turn 2 compared to dig through time. If you are pairing it with either Urza's, Ugin's Labyrinth or Mox Opal, the fast mana plus powerful card draw is a good formula. Pretty normal stuff. Fast mana, powerful card draw. And then the card selection, I think, pairs really well in combo decks. Yesterday we played against Stock Up in a blue-red Through the Reach deck, and I thought that was a pretty interesting place to play it. I was looking for, if we had anything kind of similar to that, and we do in this deck. You may have missed this deck in the past, but this is a deck that we've done well with several times over several iterations. The idea is that this is basically a combo deck with Tamiyo meets the Story Circle and Archway of Innovation. Archway of Innovation is an image 3 land. Enters untapped if you have an island, taps for blue. And it says blue tap, the next spell you cast this turn has Improvise. Mostly a combo with Tamiyo meets the Story Circle, where chapter 2 of this saga says discard any number of cards, and you investigate twice for each card discarded this way. So you go turn 2 Tamiyo meets the Story Circle, you discard 5 cards, play Archway of Innovation, make 10 mana, cast an Ulamog or an Emrakul or a Nulldrifter or a Portent of Calamity. You've got 12 big things to cast here. And so the fact that Stock Up digs really deep for Archway or Tamiyo or Payoff or Urza, which is Urza is also kind of like your secondary payoff to Tamiyo meets the Story Circle instead of you improvising, you're going to play Urza, and then Urza can either cast the big stuff or just start spinning. So Urza is also like really nice in this deck with Mox Opal and Ugin's Labyrinth. You can cast it pretty quick. Sometimes turn 2, especially with the talismans. I had a build of this deck that was also like pretty tested with Mox Opal that just didn't quite end up making the stream, where I was main decking for Chalice of the Void. This is back maybe a month ago when like Energy and Breach were a little bit more popular, and so I decided to not main deck the Chalice of the Voids anymore. I think the deck looked like, I think it was a Chalice over Talismans, and then before Stock Up I was playing 4 Nulldrifter, 4 Portent, and then the sideboard was pretty different too. So let's get in there. I am pretty excited. Stock Up's biggest downside is sorcery speed. Is that why you don't pair with any counter spells? Well, this is, I think a deck that we have played some counter spells in the past, and I think this is not one that you really want to be playing counter spells in. In fact, this hand is just a great example. This hand is going to cast Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger on turn 3. That's what this hand can do, is cast Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger on turn 3. You don't really need counter spells if your deck is trying to do that. Probably pretty good against the Eldrazi Temple deck. We'll see. Certainly would like to be on the play. A little bit scared of an Urza coming down and turning off my Mox Opal as my blue mana that I need for the Archway. Are 10 7-mana spells enough consistency for Labyrinth? Yes. Don't you land destruction me. You mean Karn? I do mean Karn. I'm still waking up. I woke up kind of sick this morning. That's why we got the late start. Sorry if I'm misspeaking already. Thanks again, Sea King, for the 22. 0 on the top, 2 on the bottom. I'm pretty scared this turn that we're just going to get our Archway blown up. It's like we can't Devourer, Worldbreaker, Mycospawn, Karn are all a nightmare. I don't even know what we're hoping they cast here. That's usually a problem. Next out my Archway, which I think is the right choice here. Nourish with the Twitch Prime. Hope you're doing well. So we have made the critical error this morning of losing the die roll. An error that you don't want to be making in Modern that often. Excuse me. Good chance I'm going to be cracking this map for a Labyrinth. So to expand on that, stock up is more for combo decks at Source Spree speed like this in Breach, and shouldn't be something considered in Frogtide. Yes, I would not play this deck in Frogtide. So I guess now we get a basic island. We could have got Otawara, but I'm going to use the island to cast the Urza, and then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. So I guess I would need to draw a 0 drop to be able to spin an Urza this next turn. How I wish we won the die roll and cast an Ulamog to Ceaseless Hunger. They grab a Pithing Needle. They have Needled the Urza, maybe? Needle doesn't stop the Urza's mana ability, so it looks like, you know, if they don't kill my Urza, maybe I could still cast an Ulamog. Finks for the 38 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Could also name the Archway. This is not a mana ability. Yeah, they do name the Archway. Attack me for 5. I drew Otawara, which is kind of interesting. I should have the Otawara channel available also. So why don't we just get a Mishra's Bauble. And then we are going to be 1 mana short of spinning. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or sorry, 7. And then we get 8 off the Urza Saga because we get an extra artifact next turn. So it seems like we're going to just be 1 short of hardcasting Ulamog next turn. Have some, like, we could draw an Ugin's Labyrinth, and we could draw a Bauble or an Opal. But Ugin's Lab would let us would be an out even if we channeled the Otawara here. Thoughts on a Necro combo deck using Born Upon a Wind to be able to go off after you draw cards off Necro. So Born Upon a Wind is 2 mana, instant speed. You know, this is certainly a like half-cooked, quarter-cooked idea. What combo are you playing? That you play your Necro. So you're gonna play Necro and then you're gonna pass probably, right? And then the next turn, you Necro and you draw a lot of cards. And then you cast Born Upon a Wind, and you have two mana left. What is the plan here? And what is the plan here? So I'm going to lose 1, 2, 3. Oh, interesting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dang it, 1 short still. So we can cast a Nulldrifter. Then my opponent's going to put Worldbreaker into their hand. They're going to blow up these. Yeah, I just don't feel like this Nulldrifter is doing enough. It's a short answer here. So I think I'm just going to spin. Let's go, baby! That's what I'm talking about. That's what this deck's all about. So now they pop the explosives. I've already tapped all my zeros. I mean, this is also a big part of the deck. We have, you know, 10 Eldrazi that you could just hit off Urza, although 2 of them are Nulldrifter. That'd be lucky than good. If we were lucky, we would have just won the die roll and cast this thing on turn 3. Alright, Divination. So what we can do here is we can attack with the Worldbreaker, and then we can sacrifice a bunch of their lands. So Eldrazi Temple does not tap for Worldbreaker's ability in the graveyard. At least that's my impression. So I can activate it twice. So if I play my forest out, or sorry, my opponent's forest, it looks like I can attack with the Worldbreaker. Yeah, I can make the needle die as well. But although I guess the problem with this is that this lets them minus the card next turn. I think that's not such a big problem with the Otawara in my hand. Yeah, I guess we could also K-Command target me for a bunch. But I feel like double stone rating my opponent is just way more important. Because they're going to get to Emrakul me if I do that. Okay, so I'm holding the control button. Yeah, and then I just wanted to test that here. It does not work. That's okay though, because I can. Oh, is it okay? You have to play the forest out. Still holding control. The Worldbreaker goes back to their hand. They get very stone rained, and then I'm gonna make me draw a card, and then me make spawns. Undo the temple mana? No, the temple mana is on purpose to get the K command out of the hand. Okay. And then they're gonna probably get a bridge, which I know we just Ulamog or whatever. Are we finding out what happens when you cast Emrakul from Emrakul? I think it's bad is the short answer. I think the short answer is it doesn't really do what you would want anything to do. Okay, so I guess I should have spun before playing the Saga, huh? Stock up. So let's take Mox Sapphire and Ugin's Labyrinth. Have Otawara up. I guess, I don't know, maybe we should, I don't really feel like I care too much to bounce the bridge this turn. Why no Otawara? It's not important, I think, to exile this bridge is the short answer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, we're just going to be able to Ulamog it, and, like, we're not one-shotting them, so if we bounce the bridge, we put our opponent down to 3 or 4, it's like, then they play the bridge, and then we've kind of, then we have to spin the next turn, right? So I think we just might as well spin this turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So still one short because they, plus the Karn. That'll be plenty of mana, it seems. Yeah, I could have attacked with Urza last turn. That's true. But my opponent will play the bridge this turn, and then I can just Ulamog it. I do want to crack the Bauble, because the Bauble is worth 2 Mox Sapphires, and I guess not and a card. Or a card. Well, crazy game 1. Very fun deck. Was not expecting to walk away from that one victorious after that turn 3 Worldbreaker when stopping me from my turn 3 Ulamog. We get to bring in 4 Consigns, of course, as every deck in the format does that. I'm going to cut the Shadowspear. Might just cut Baubles. I'm a little worried about Metalcraft without Bauble. Metalcraft is kind of weird in this deck anyways. Seems okay. I don't want to cut the stock up, so I want to get more reps with it. Also, just digging for Consign seems pretty good. So we get a Scry with the Bauble. We can look at our top card, and then if we like it, we draw it on their turn. If we don't, we Lrien Revealed and draw a new one. I think on the draw, I probably just do want to mulligan this hand. With no Labyrinth, no Consign, no combo. So we have the combo. What we don't have is a payoff, although we have stock up and Urza. Let's go ahead and keep this, and let's put back the Labyrinth, since we're not really going to be in printing with this hand ever. Is there a chance some number of Sink into the Stupor would be good? So we've played a lot of this archetype. We have played Sink into the Stupor. After having like 4 Sink into the Stupors, thinking like, of course they must be correct to play. I guess now we're going to be cycling Lrien Revealed for an island. And like this needs an island to enter untapped. I have regretted playing too few islands in the past. In fact, like I almost even wanted to play Otawara or an island over Otawara, but I think with the expedition map, the Otawara is better. So good chance what we'll do next turn is discard Saga, Talisman, new card, have six cards, and then we can go Urza into spin and keep stock up in our hand, or we could discard the stock up too, getting a Mox Opal off the Saga. Would we play Mystic Sanctuary this deck if we could? That card isn't legal. We probably would play Mystic Sanctuary. Yes. I don't know. That doesn't fucking matter. This is the short answer. Hopefully not a card. Good morning, Draven. They have the Karn, so I can no longer go Mox Opal here. So I suppose we're just looking to draw a payoff for the Archway. Although if they just needle Archway, we could consider ourselves cooked. Yeah, it seems like we're going to have to draw. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get out from underneath the Karn unless we draw a Ulamog, Emrakul. We can't go for Portent here because we don't have the extra blue mana. Can you please start a talk show where you will talk to Magic players? You can call it a podcast. I mean, I don't really people have asked for a podcast a while. I'm kind of out here podcasting every day. They do needle the Archway, and we draw a Bauble. So let's go ahead and go to game 3 here. Get to be on the play for once this match. Wow, we just have the combo again. It's a good sign for today. And this time we can use the Portent to probably cast a Big Eldrazi on turn 3. Very unlikely to brick. Yeah, but I'm here live on twitch.tv/aspiringspike talking to Magic players every single day. If Mystic Sanctuary was an island identical in every other way, would it have needed to be banned? Yeah, I don't think so. Like that's basically how Mystic Sanctuary functions in Pioneer, is that it isn't an island, but it's like it's just not fetchable is really what that translates to. Your band opinion to a bigger audience, Magic influence. I don't know. Do people listen to Magic podcasts? Maybe they do, but I don't. I guess. All right, let's see. They've got a turn 2 card that would stop my Mox Opal and would stop my stop me from being able to cast Portent, which would be kind of sad. I'm sure some people do. I know, I'm like a little. I guess like I'm like writing content at least. I'm pretty over for Magic. It's just like whenever I would do like writing content for Magic, I would just pour my heart and my soul into it, and it just didn't feel like I would get like a good level of engagement for it. If that makes sense. Like it just wasn't worth the investment for me, at least. I'm no Paulo Vitor Damo de Rosa when it comes to writing, but. It was just by far my like my highest effort hours for like least interaction. You know what I mean? Much higher effort, much less engagement. And I also will say I don't think I enjoyed writing about Magic as much as I enjoyed writing about anything else. So my opponent's probably holding up a K command. Let's go ahead and play this game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clues. Play Mox Opal. Archway of Innovation. Portent of Calamity, X equals 8. Pretty hard to brick on this. Okay, so we have to reveal 4 different types. So creature, land, enchantment, artifact. Play land. Your turn. Turn 3 Emrakul. Oh, they just have nothing. So I can go kick Mycospawn, exiled, Labyrinth, fail to find on the search. Never done that. Doesn't seem like there's anything better. Exile, target land. Yeah, just target land. Jerry T podcast. I haven't listened to any. I just don't really listen to Magic podcasts, but anyway. I guess I can get Ghost Quarter. Wow. I'm sure Jerry's podcast is great. I'm a big Jerry fan. Let's go! That was a fun first match. I always like if I feel like I'm talking too long, I stop and I re-record with the more concise thoughts. And so it's like, the 2 hours ends up becoming ideally like 20, 30 minutes instead. Which I think I really prefer putting out that kind of stuff because I just think it's better. This is Burn. Burn has been kind of popular lately. Yeah, Suspend Rift Bolt. Modern's been so sick lately. Also, I just have the combo again. Seems like I want to play the Saga turn 1 so that I can get Mox Opal on turn 3 and then cast Urza and then spin. The problem with this is, I guess if I draw Portent to Archway out, I can still just get Saga and cast the Portent. Reverse psychology and starting pockets. I'm glad y'all want more content. I'm glad that y'all want more content too. I'm glad. And I'm happy to go on some podcasts every once in a while. It's been a while since I've been on any of them. But I'm glad that y'all like to hear me yap. So bolted down to 14. 5 cards in their hand. Sad I'm not main decking these chalices anymore. Although I think we may be okay. Bolt weighed me down to 11. Another Rift Bolt will put me down to 8. Could die next turn if they go land, 1 mana burn spell, 1 mana burn spell, 1 mana burn spell. Getting a Mox Opal. So I'm going to discard 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure. So that's 8. I guess, I'll discard the other Urza as well. And so I can just spin twice. Imagine a 3-hour rant about Titan where you don't feel guilty. That could be a podcast. I wouldn't watch that. And if I wouldn't watch it, then I probably don't want to put it out. But we'll see. Okay, cast a stock up. All right, let's take Shadowspear, Ulamog. I think that's our first stock up cast today. Pretty good. We get to cast an Ulamog next turn. And gain a bunch of life. Assuming we have it next turn, my opponent can go land, 1 mana burn spell, 1 mana burn spell, 1 mana burn spell. That could kill me. There's a land. What about a podcast with Canister? If I did a podcast with Canister, what do you think the ratio of talk time for each person would be? I feel like it would be like maybe 90-10 in my favor. Every time I've interacted with Canister in real life, he just is so quiet. So quiet. I feel like it might be like an actual 90-10. Yeah, maybe 80-20. All right, don't triple lightning bolt me. If you're both happy with that, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not saying. I'm just wondering. I think it would be very funny. I think it would be funny. I'm not really trying to provide a commentary there. All right, skull crack me so I don't get to gain any life, but I can attack for 15. Okay. And when this deck goes, it really freaking goes. Did not come super prepped for Bird, although we're just a Shadowspear decks that with painless mana base with some fast combos, so I think that's okay. Yeah, I got the 90% talking. He's got the 90% matchup. What if y'all spoke in his native tongue instead? Yeah, I would learn Polish. It's not Polish, is it? Like, I mean, I know Canister's Polish, but is that the name of the language they speak in Poland? I actually don't know. I don't know a lot about the Poles, but I'm happy. All right, I'm gonna mulligan. It is okay. For some reason, it just didn't sound right. So we have a Labyrinth, and we can go imprint 1. It's going to be so tough. We're on a mold of 5 already, so what would our 5-card hand be? Labyrinth, imprintable, Lrien Revealed here. I guess this would be it. The best podcast would be me and Doomwake. That would be fun. It's just tough. You know, speaking of podcasts, I actually remember going on Ross and Todd's podcast maybe 5 years ago at this point. And like one thing Ross said to me there was like really, really stuck, where he was like, you know, one thing about making content is people will always ask for more. So if you're like, hey guys, should I start a podcast? Like someone in your audience will always say yes to that. Someone in your audience will always be like, yes, I would love to start a podcast. But that's because your audience is always asking for more content. So it's better to do stuff you want to do or stuff you think is the best direction rather than just polling people, if that makes sense. Poll mentioned. Okay, so we can Expedition map for an Archway. Also, my opponent's definitely going to attack despite the Goblin Guide having no power next turn. Maybe we'll get an extra land off that. Meet twice a week in Portugal. My summer home in Portugal. We're podcasting? No. We're not podcasting. Graveyard's a Goblin Guide. 5 cards in their hand. Exquisite Firecraft. Wow. Good job, opponent. Okay, so let's go. It's a little awkward because I really want to be able to put this Ulamog back into my hand. Because I'm going to be one. I would have to draw a land next turn. I could go discard 3, play Island, crack map, get Archway, play Archway, then have 4. Have 4 here plus 6. That's 10. Oh, no, sorry, not 4 here because I would have to go tap 1, tap 1. So that's 6 plus 2. That's 8. I guess I just have to draw a land. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun topic. When you play combo decks like this, you know, you get a little off the rails sometimes, I guess. So it's seeing what the top card of the Goblin Guide is pretty relevant, and Ugin's Labyrinth. Well, I might just be dead. All right, dead on turn 4. On the play for game 3. Yeah, I was thinking about cracking a clue, but then my opponent removed the need for me to think about anything, which was nice of them. The best draw against them is probably just Saga, Labyrinth, and Printable. Oh, that would be a pretty nice thing to have here. We have a Saga and an Opal. If I had one more artifact or one more Bauble, this would be really, really ideal. So this is going to be turn 3, make a Saga token. Turn 4, Shadowspear on the play. We also have an Archway and an Emrakul, so if we just top deck, if we top deck the dang thing, it's pretty good. I think we keep on the play, and then we would mulligan on the draw. Opponent's on a mold of 6. Feel a little bit more comfy with that. Usually want to play these out against burn. Maybe not turn 1, but... Wow, there's Tamiyo meets the Story Circle. Absurd. Thank you, Goblin Guide. So I'm going to be able to discard 4 cards. Oh, I get super punished for playing out my Opal, I guess. This will cost 10, and I'm going to have... I guess I'm going to be 1 short of actually of casting the Emrakul. My opponent knows to play around this, so they're not going to give me a card with the Goblin Guide either. Oh, they forgot. Paid actor. Didn't get the card, though. Yeah, we're 1 mana short of the Emrakul, right? 8, 9, and it costs 10. Oh, no, I drew an artifact. So it's going to... Oh, the artifact's already in the yard. Never mind. I think we discard like this. Play the Saga. Crack a clue. Pass the turn. So I guess we maybe lost this game because we played the Opal out. If we'd have been able to discard the Opal, we'd been able to cast the Emrakul. Thank you, Goblin Guide. I'm down to 10. They've got 3 cards in their hand, though. Lava Spike me down to 7. Harsh Mentor. Let's say that again. Guess I should have cracked a clue in response. Don't want to shuffle any of these in. So I'm going to go to 5 when I make the Saga to block the Harsh Mentor. 3 off the Goblin Guide, so I'm dead to a burn spell. What is Harsh Mentor in the format? I guess Breach? So I could not make a Saga token if I wanted to play around Smash to Smithereens. No, sorry, they would just have plenty of targets for Smash to Smithereens, so never mind. Nulldrifter on top. Get hit by the Harsh Mentor. That's it. Going down to 3. They got 2 cards in their hand. Ready to die. Plays a Barbarian Ring. And a Riftbolt. Nice. Could have won that one. Cool game. Could we not have cast the Emrakul? Nope. That was we could have cast it if I had not played out the Opal turn 1. We top decked the Tamiyo meets the Story Circle. Okay, so this is a turn 2 stock up. Thinking if I want to bottom the... I think I bottomed the second Archway. Happy to see a Flage. So I'm gonna take this Urza. I can get another blue maybe by cycling Lrien Revealed. I think I'm just gonna take the Bauble and cycle it. Spyro. Another stock up. Right. Island would be a good draw. Lrien Revealed. Okay, so we'll go and get our island. Cast the stock up. Grab Tamiyo meets the Story Circle. So next turn I can go Labyrinth, imprint Nulldrifter, cast Urza, cast Tamiyo meets the Story Circle. Now I would have 1 floating mana. I guess I just grab the Emrakul every time. Yeah, stock up's been looking pretty solid. I think this is a good shell for it too. I'll say that card draw spells are very difficult to evaluate. It's something you need to get a lot of reps for. Not enough blue. No, Urza gives me another blue. Unless it dies. That's, I guess, a problem maybe. Yeah, I guess we should probably play around Galvanic Discharge now that they have just passed. Yeah, I think you want to play around Discharge, stopping me from getting another blue mana off the Urza. So we'll just play Tommy Meets the Story Circle and save everything in the hand to discard, and then can Emrakul them next turn. And the Tamiyo Meets the Story Circle allowing me to gain a little bit of life here is definitely pretty nice. Although maybe it is good to play a land here, because if my opponent has... If they have a Thraben Charm or Static Prison, how possible would it be for me to cast Emrakul next turn? So if I go Labyrinth and print Nulldrifter, I could still discard 1, 2, 3, and then I would have 6 plus 4. Yeah, okay, so let's do that then. Don't you need another blue from playing Talisman? Well, you could get off the Urza, but I think at this point it's just better to try to discard the Talisman. So dodge Thraben Charm. Now we're trying to dodge Static Prison. My opponent found the land. We just want them to cast that Seasoned Pyromancer, and then we're cooking. Nice. So I think I'm just actually going to put these both back into my hand. Kind of crazy that Ugin's Lab lets you do that. So we'll discard 1, 2, 3, 4. This will put enchantment, creature, artifact into the yard. I think I'll discard one of the Emrakuls also so that I could cast a Ulamog if I draw it. Oh, I guess it was better for me to go Urza and to just cast the Emrakul. Shouldn't be a big deal, though. With this Goblin Bombardment in play, we're going to be able to wreck them. They are going to sack their board, putting me down to 11. How bad is Hardcast Nulldrifter? It's pretty good on turn 3. It's pretty good on turn 3. I guess we sack a clue also. Okay. Interesting. So they drew Ocelot Pride. So I can exile their graveyard, and I can play Ocelot Pride, sack it, target themselves. Could also... So I could also play the Seasoned Pyromancer, and then ping them 3 times, and then they're just dead to my Emrakul attack. I don't love that that digs them deeper for Static Prison. Pyrosack all. I don't know. I think I just don't like that makes it way more likely that I get Static Prison next turn, so I think I'm gonna go Thraben Charm. Ooh, I could also go Thraben Charm, destroy bombardments. I think I like that, because the bombardment I think is more scary than the Flage. Especially with the Seasoned Pyromancer. Getting rid of Flage seems like the safest line. I mean, I guess like Arena of Glory is kind of scary, but I'm gonna have blockers for it. If they do top deck Arena of Glory, I get super punished. But even if they top deck a regular land, we're okay. They drew the Static Prison. They didn't want to try to Spyro for the land. My opponent says expletive in the chat. I'm not sure exactly what they mean. So I'm getting probably a scam call. 1 second. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle Emrakul, Nulldrifter, stock up. Oh, I guess, sorry, that was 4. It's only 3. My log, just the easiest way you lose is Prison plus Flage. I don't feel like I'm losing to Prison. I mean, I'm losing to Prison plus Arena of Glory, if that's like the exact top 2, maybe, but I even have like plenty of outs to that. So they're going to go Galvanic Discharge. Oh, they didn't. I think I would rather cast a Nulldrifter than spin twice. Especially because I want to have my Construct untapped still. Do you have the profanity filter on purpose? No, it got re-added after I reinstalled Magic Online recently. Gonna discard these. They do get to discharge both of these. Just trivia with my Simic got close now with the list is so happy. Nice. What does your list look like? Is it similar to the one we played recently? I agree that deck is pretty nice. I've been kind of thinking about picking it back up soon. Yeah, if they discharge both, they do lose the Static Prison. That's true. So they kill the Urza. So they can maybe just use one of the... Yeah, maybe they should have cast the other discharge as a ritual because they had 3 in their hand. They do go down to 0. This deck concept is amazing as design. Yeah, I've been working on this archetype for months and months and months. This is like our 6th iteration of it. Now getting stock up. For some reason, whenever I play this deck, like people just don't tune in for it. But it's been around. I've been playing it. It's been good. So they're gonna have to chump block the construct with the Flage. I did consider Tamiyo. I feel like I didn't. You'd have to play probably Island over Lrien Revealed, which is kind of awkward because Lrien Revealed is good with Tamiyo. I did decide against it. I guess I want to keep the Mox Opal in my hand, so if I draw a land off of my first clue sack, then if I draw a land off my first clue sack, then I can go Opal sack and then still activate the Archway. Floodpit's Drowner, huh? 2 Harbingers, interesting. Like I was really happy just playing 1. Okay, so they chump my construct. They sacked a land. Their hand is discharge, Spyro. Now we go sack a clue token. Another Tamiyo meets the story circle. Which I guess we play, so... I guess we're dead to top deck the Arena of Glory. Is there anything we could draw to be... No, we're not because we get the Static Prison back. We get the Emrakul back. Yeah, I don't know. So this is very similar to my list, right? But you're playing... I don't think I was playing the full 8 0-mana counter spells. I think I was playing like 6 or 7. So it seems fine. You're playing the second Harbinger. You're playing Floodpit's Drowner. What was I doing different? So you are playing the full 8 of these. I was main decking all these endurances, which I think it's the way the metagame's changed. I think it makes sense to go away from the endurances. You have all 4 in the sideboard though. So you're like Floodpit Drowner over endurance. How did you get the second Harbinger and the extra 2 force? And playing the same number. Or you're not playing the Unable to Screams. You're playing basically that instead. I think that's fine. I mean, I think the Screams are fine. I don't think they're super good at the moment. Because, like, energy is just falling off. Not sure what my opponent's plan is for this construct. Right now their hand should be Galvanic Discharge. No, sorry. Season Pyromancer Mystery card. All right, that keeps them alive. All right, so shuffle, another -2 also. So now I guess I am, if I don't draw anything, if they draw top deck Arena of Glory, we could lose. That seems like something. Let's go, dude. People may not tune in for this archetype, but those who do know how sick it is. All right, let's go to game 2. I don't think I want to bring in an orb or a cage. The Seismic Monument deck looks sick. I put together the first draft this week that included Asmo Cookbook Opal package. It's very hard to fit all that in, so it seems like it might be best to abandon as you've done. Yeah, I thought about going that direction too, and I agree it was tough to fit in. Like Saga also very awkward with Seismic Assault. Thanks a good nightmare. Didn't even exile the Pride for Lethal. Yeah, the moral victory is much more important. Shaman, 5 months, priming for the podcast. Let's go. Might come back to playing MTG Run this beauty. Yeah, this deck is so sick. It's always been so sick. We've played a lot of different versions of it. Archway is really powerful. It's just like combo card with Tamiyo, and then like Urza's like nice plan B. Stock Up I think is a really nice upgrade. All right, probably not keeping this one though. They mull to 6. We don't have an imprintable for the Labyrinth. Sand would love to top deck one. Let's put back the second Talisman, I think. Opponent's on a mull to 5. I doubt anyone else has trophy with this Tamiyo. Yeah, I don't know if we've trophied with this deck or not. Obviously, we played a lot of versions. What was your overall record with Monument deck yesterday? So we lost one time. We had one match at the beginning that didn't really count because my opponent scooped really fast. And then so we were like 6-1 overall. 5-0 with one match not really counting. Then we won the next two. Then we lost one, and then I went to go eat lunch. If I tried to stock up in Thopter Sword, might not have room, but seems intriguing. I am a long-time Thopter Sword hater, if I'm going to be, with full disclosure and honest. I want to be transparent here. I am a long-time hater of Thopter Sword combo. It could be certainly something that you could do now that Mox Opal is legal. I've been saying this for a little bit. However, it's just been a deck that, I've been burned by a bunch, and, I think a lot of Thopter Sword players have been burned by on account of the combo just not being that good. On account of the combo just not being so good. If you want to brew something more, I would really recommend cutting Unable to Scream. I hated it, and it cured and cut it before I added Charlotte's Agent because of you. Yeah, I think cutting it's fine. Like, it does make your agent cascades worse. I was just worried that you needed creature removal, but you have Ice Fang, and you're just making a bunch of big creatures, and Modern is becoming like a little less like energy frog focused, and it's becoming more like combo focused. So I agree that it makes sense to cut it. I'm on board. Okay, they discard a Guide of Souls and a Flage. No cats. Okay, so that's an interesting pickup. I'm going to be able to get an Archway next turn off of my Urza Saga. So I could go this turn, just make a Saga token maybe. Discard, stock up Lrien Revealed, have 4 artifacts. Next turn, tap Labyrinth, tap Saga, Expedition Map, Archway of Innovation. And I could tap Saga token, Shadowspear, 4 tokens, and I could Portent X equals 6. All right, this seems like my plan then. What do you expect the meta to be like in Charlotte next week? Oh, but I don't have an island for the Archway to enter untapped. Damn it. Do you have enough blue? I do have enough blue between Opal and Talisman, but what I don't have is an untapped island. Might be okay. Would this many artifacts with time sip be worth? No, you don't. Like, if you just discard your hand and then take like the time sip is just, I don't know. I don't think it's the direction I really want to go down. Okay, Johnny's really good here. Just draw one. Well, I can't both draw an island, play an island, and tutor Archway, play Archway. Like, I won't be able to Archway next turn. I could draw an Urza. So I block the Pride. They can just kill my token. Okay, meta for Charlotte next week. I could also maybe just cast Portent, so I can go float a mana. Sorry, let me get to. If I draw a land, I can get Mox Opal 4, 5, 6, X equals 5. It's kind of low. Drew an Otawara. So my options here. Remind me to answer the question about Charlotte. So I can Portent X equals 5, which is like usually I like to do a 6 or higher, but could YOLO. I could go Saga token plus play Otawara plus equip Shadowspear, and then maybe I could and then attack, and then they would block and they would flip the Ajani, which I don't really love. I can also go. I I can go equip Shadowspear, get Expedition Map, pass, block, gain 9. Kind of like that. Shadowspear equip seems good. Well, there's a lot going on, but that is something. I can't go Expedition Map. Yeah, I can't go Expedition Map and equip and make a Saga token. Okay. So Charlotte, I think that the most popular decks are going to be Black, White, and Breach. I think that Titan, won the last RC. It won the 10K after the RC. People don't really like to pick up Titan. It will be there. It's very difficult to say in what numbers. I think it will not be like the top 4 or 5 most popular decks. I think Eldrazi likely will be more popular than Energy. I don't know. Energy might be 4. Energy seems like a bad choice, but people probably have it and they're probably going to play it. And it's like, it's to some extent, it's like Energy is like, I didn't do that much testing. I'm just going to play this deck. It's not like an awful choice either. But I would say that, maybe Breach is the most popular. Ooh, okay, so Discharge. They need one more creature to kill my token, don't they? There's a couple more creatures. So we do get to make a big portent here. One thing that could be interesting would be leaving 2 mana up after I cast my portent so that I could equip the Shadowspear. That doesn't seem like something I can afford to do. Yeah, that would be X equals 5. I mean, Ulamog doesn't stabilize me. I have to hit Emrakul. But if I hit Ulamog, it's just so hard to get Delirium. Like, even if I hit Emrakul, like, they have to have, like, a bombardment, don't they? I could... Yeah, I think I just have to actually equip the Shadowspear and get really lucky. So we are just going to X equals 5 and hope to hit a Ulamog or an Emrakul and get to equip the Shadowspear. Eldrazi seems a good spot. Yeah, I agree. As like also like an open deck list, and if you're up against Breach, you get to know to mulligan for Karn. Okay, we did hit Delirium. Or is it 4 different? Sorry, is it 4 cards with different types? Because I don't know. Does this count for 2? I can't remember. For each card type, you may exile a card. Yeah, so you can't pick it for 2, can you? On the play for game 3. In testing, Mill seems like it has a great matchup into Breach, Titan, and Black-White. Is it a serious major choice or cope? I would be kind of surprised that it has a great matchup versus Black-White. It could. It totally could. I have not really experienced much of it. I think I've played the matchup as Black-White and not felt like it was awful, but I'm not sure. I mean, like, maybe it is. I think Ketramos isn't good against Mill, and Overlord is awful against them, but, you are a Thoughtseize Relic deck with some, like, nice interaction. But, like, I'll say this. If you feel very confident that your Black-White matchup is good, and you feel confident that there will be, like, very little energy, then you can play Mill. Alex with the 8 months, thank you, welcome back. So excited for upcoming podcast. Me too. I just need to think of a very clever name. Interesting hand. Obviously no story circle. I think I'm going to click the mulligan button. All right, let's keep this. Let's put back a Lrien Revealed, and then let's plan to turn 3 Urza and go from there. Zabas, the 23 months. What's the podcast? There is no podcast. We're just moving. Aspiring Mike, it's pretty good. I'm not going to start a podcast, but that is pretty good. It's anecdotal. I've won 9 out of 10 Black-White matchups with them this week, surgically in their 5 mana cards, running 4 Main deck glimpse things helps for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like the black-white matchup is really good, this is a deck you can play. And if you are unsure, like I wouldn't choose it unless you were really sure. Thanks, Bag of Justice. Okay, so that's the best top deck possible. Deciding to not play the Urza so that we can discard it and Portent for X equals 6 next turn. We could also, I guess we will be, no, we could cast Nulldrifter instead. We could just cast Nulldrifter. But we get to actually X equals 7 this, which I think is probably should be fine. Not playing a land. No, it's better to discard the land next turn because it's like, oh, I guess we need to play it out to cast the Portent. So, maybe we could have played it out this turn. It seems very unlikely I'll be playing a land next turn though. No, I would play it off the Portent. Okay, never mind. You're right. Should have played the island. Should have played the island. It won't be a huge deal, I imagine. Big spin. X equals 7. Artifact, sorcery, creature, huh? So, Ulamog in hand. Artifact. And another Portent, I think. Seven, 8, 9... Or 7, 8, 9. So we would have to draw a land to improvise out Ulamog next turn. We can also just Portent next turn, maybe. Yeah, 0 land in the top 7 is pretty tough. Didn't get punished for not playing a land last turn, though. So they've got 2 energy. They've got Ragavan. So I mentioned Archway of Innovation last stream. Can't help myself. I don't remember anyone mentioning it last stream. I'm sure you did. I just was looking for a good place to start testing stock up, and I feel like this was, like, of all the decks we've been working on, the best shell. It's been fine. It's been fine. I certainly feel like it may. I don't know if I want to use the word overhyped, but it seems I'm not like feeling super connected with how broken everyone keeps saying it is. I think it's a fine tool, and I'm interested in it in like Ugin's Labyrinth decks and like to a lesser extent Mox Opal decks. I guess Stony Silence plus Treasure Token is something we can count on a little bit here. Okay, so we draw land, we can Ulamog, which I think we'll do exiling a Guide and a Pride. Since the Ragavan's not doing a ton. Although this is a lot of tokens. I was doing, oh, you're talking about the Archway stuff. Yeah, I mean, what can I even say about that? Let's get the Shadowspear back in the deck and Urza back in. Okay, so we get to go X equals 8 this time. Okay, we have Delirium this time, but we don't have any big hits. The Archway deck. Let's pivot over to backup deck today. Backup deck's pretty juicy. Maybe we should just move away from Portent. It just always does.